I'm focusing on mind, body, and health, and I'm going into it with the perspective of I know nothing at all. And oftentimes we can go through things thinking that, oh, I know this and I know that, and we have advice for everything. But the fact remains is that if you are anything of Afro descent or Indian descent, historically, we've been damaged. And CPTSD is real. And whether you are a person who doesn't have a high dosage of CPTSD, you often come across people who do have a high dosage. And just dating, period, in the African American community, or it's a real traumatic thing, because I do feel that every person goes into a relationship expecting to love and love wholeheartedly, and a lot of us have this unsung, my dog is acting up, unsung desire to be a people's pleaser. And when we have this desire to be a people's pleaser, you often attract people who can see that or have a discernment of that and use that to their advantage, because there's so many people on survival mode. And oftentimes both parties could be on survival mode, and just, ego won't allow one to admit it or not. But at the end of the day, those experiences, you end up experiencing some kind of hurt or something. So back to the conversation I was having with the friend, I just basically told him my 6 months goal with me and my daughter, and how we're gonna focus on the glow up, mind, body, and soul. We're gonna get our skin together. We're gonna vlog the whole experience. Hold on just a second. Okay, I'm back. So back to the glow up challenge for 6 months. So it's diet, it's gut health, it's skin health, it's mind health, and it's body health. I basically have 3 goals this year that I want to accomplish, which is getting a surgery, running for president, and becoming queen in Africa. Okay, those are my goals, and I'm going to achieve them. So in talking to my friend, I came to this realization that I noticed I was very hesitant to deal with men, even though they're offering their time and all that, and it's just not being loved right. And 2, part of that comes from, first, understanding what love is for you and how loving you looks like, because your experiences that you experience only comes from the frequency you dish out, right? The people that you are meeting are people from your internal understanding or your frequencies, or what lessons you are needing to learn, and if they're lessons at all, then what boundaries need to be set, right? And so when it dawned on me that, my abs is really coming from a place of internalizing the hurt from all these experiences of love, right? Then the question becomes, did you love yourself right? Because when you love yourself right, then you wouldn't attract those things, right? So I came across a video in just my search of just unlearning and relearning and learning a new language and feeding this new character for the next 6 months of the glow up. And I came across, I'm sorry, I don't remember her name, but I can put it in the description if need be, which I would, because that would just support other channels. And that's just something, to see a different result in terms of unity it has to start with self first. So I don't mind sharing that video. And the reason why I chose her is because her skin remind me of the skin that I once had when I was loving on myself, right? But for a backstory, I have put myself through my own school, right? I didn't sign up for a university. I didn't go to any college for this journey that was on the past 4 years, which I wanted to overstand the very structure that I felt was keeping me opposed, right? So in order for me to overstand the challenges that I were having, I needed to overstand its cages. And I started teaching myself law and understanding and overstanding that everything was public notice or public record, right? There was nothing that I couldn't come across unless it was forms or something that I needed to use. So for the last 4 years, I have just been working, being a mom, in school, teaching myself law. And it's probably a little bit more than 4 years, honestly. But when I really just started to grasp the information, it was the past 4 years. So those are where my current books come from, that effort. So those books are on Amazon. And I'll put the links in the description. But not to have a drawn out, long-winded conversation, I just didn't have those boundaries, and that's the bottom line. And I have already went through my self-healing and appreciating those people or those players or those characters that was in my life who were a part of those experiences, right? And just reflecting back on those times, it's like I didn't have a definition for anything. I was brought up to be a wife, and whatever he liked, I liked. Whatever he wanted to do, I was down for it. I was like a chameleon for whomever potentially would have been that husband. And with that mindset, it definitely does leave you open to a lot of experiences. And unfortunately, there was just no way around that because that was my upbringing, right? So that's all I knew until you get hurt enough and you say, okay, I have to stop and I have to do something different. But by then, so much damage occurred, At this point, I'm a mom times 3, and there was no time to reflect. In those times, I just felt like there was no time to reflect. There was no time to cry about it. It was just, you got mouths to feed, figure it out, and get it going. And part of it, too, was feeling like, this is what you get. You were told to pick somebody from the hall. You were told to get married first, and you were out here just lifing. And those are the results of life. So I never sat and really reflect on any of it. But I feel like I'm at a period in my life now where I have accomplished enough in my world, right? I have written books. I've done every job I ever wanted to do. I've excelled at those jobs. I'm an entrepreneur. I had a shop. I'm still running a shop. I'm coaching. I have last 2 children is going to be 16, 17 this year. So, you know what I mean? I just kind of feel like now it's time to wind down and figure some stuff out for self, right? Which I'm on that journey. And like I said, my focus right now is to get this surgery. And I am like so excited about this surgery because I really, really do feel like, you know how some people cut their hair off and they just got this sense of relief of past or dramas or whatever, I really feel like that feeling is in my stomach. Yep, I do. It's raining outside right now, and it sounds so soothing and relaxing. But back to the video I was talking about. In that video, she basically gave an exercise. Oh, and part of it is like tapping into your feminine energy. So in that video about practicing feminine energy, she basically was like, all right, this is how you know you're in your masculine energy. She was like, unclench your fist and just be open, right? Your shoulders, typically if you're in your masculine, they're tension, right? So relax your shoulders, and then the tongue, take that from the roof of your mouth and lower it. Take a deep breath and relax. And you know, my initial mind going into it was like, oh, I'm not tense. But it didn't dawn on me until I really did have to roll my shoulder back, and I really did have to move my tongue down, and I'm like, what? Really, really was an eye-opener. So now it's game on, okay? So intentionally now, I am a little bit more open because it's only day one. So being authentic is also being very, very real with yourself and checking in internally. Like when I wake up, I like to, okay, hands, how you feeling? Okay, toes, knees, shoulders. You know, I do an assessment of myself, like I scan myself, right? And when I did my 90-day fast of no dead animal, right? I realized in that experience that heaven and hell, it literally is what you eat. And the more cleaner I ate, the more I felt like I experienced heaven. And the more that I drank and ate seafood, is the more that I felt like I was in the opposite end. So anything is habit forming, right? So breaking these habits can be a challenge, but when it's a spiritual battle, I definitely tap in to my spirit warriors, where I say my prayers and I ask God to give me strength to fight these through, especially when the urges are stronger than I am. God, give me strength to fix this. Give me strength to ignore it. Whether I gotta go to sleep or whatever, whether I gotta drink coconut water and flush it down, whatever needs to happen to break that urge, because I know in a couple of days, it's no longer gonna be a thing. It's almost like when a person has to cut smoking or, you know, breaking some form of bad habit. It's the same process. Like when you're converting yourself into a new character or a new person, is breaking those old habits, creating new ones until you no longer remember them. And that's the process I'm in, because girl, when I tell you, best friend, the glow up is going to be all the way there, okay? Because I got some big goals this year, so there's no other option. I don't believe in can't. I just know I'm gonna either do it or I'm not. Like I am just that, both on the extremes. So maybe I'll share deeper in part of the journey that we've gone through. I'm gonna discuss it with the kids and see if they're okay with sharing that part of their life. If not, then those is just one of those things that will remain amongst us and not be in public. But just know, what people refer to life have been lifing. Life has been lifing. But I would honestly say, as a single mom, I just have to pat myself on the back. I really do. And if nobody ever compliments you or gives you words of encouragement, like I absolutely love this time of technology, because you literally can get what you need on YouTube Hell, I'll even say I'm proud of you. If nobody ever told you, I'm going to tell you I'm proud of you and you are enough. And a lot of people just need to know that. Yes, it's great to hear it, but what would you do if you never heard it? You have to be your own cheerleader. And then when you are your own cheerleader, believe it or not, you're going to get the compliments. That's just how it works. It's like what you see through your eyes is the real TV. It just don't have no commercials, honestly. So I'm gonna leave this here. It was just really on my heart to get that out. And I'm gonna try to go back to sleep because I was in such a wonderful deep sleep, but I must have needed to wake up to get that part out. So I do expect these dumps, I want to call it, of realizations as I go through this healing process and this glow up that I am so excited about, and just bringing that better me. And I'm actually looking forward to being super vulnerable and super I don't need to be girly because I don't think I've ever been girly. I was the kickboxing queen in elementary, while other people was like double dutching. So I won't be surprised if my level of girly stops at a certain point, which is okay because, everybody had a lane. You had queen pharaohs and you had, maidens and other type of women. That didn't make them less of a woman. It was just that was their type of woman. And I just know that I kind of resonate with the queen pharaohs. So that just takes a level of everything. But we'll see. But if I'm gonna be authentic with myself, I do believe that that's where that comes from. Because as a child, I wanted 13 kids. That's an empire. Even now, wanting to run for president of America, which is a queen, and get my queendom in Africa, which I'm actually 3 years behind of going. They've been calling me to go. So that don't happen if that bloodline is not in you. So I'm not trying to figure out if that bloodline is in me or looking for permission for that bloodline to be in me. It just is what it is. It's me growing into the role of that when you're comfortable with being private. But when you're a leader, unfortunately, you do leadership type stuff. And it just requires eyes on you. So just being comfortable with that part is part of the journey. But when you're born for something, or when you were sent for a purpose, then who are you to deny the position? So with that being said, I look forward to meeting you guys, all the followers and people who would or will be enjoying my content and just my story. Remember, I'm not here to teach anything. I am literally creating content as a person who knows nothing at all and going through my journey of experiences and doing my share of each one, reach one, teach one. And I humbly appreciate your time, your ear, and your openness to hear what I have to say. and to hear what I'm sharing. And if anything that I share in my experiences of learned experiences can help you, then I'm more than honored for being vulnerable enough to share that with you and with us, because you are me and I am you. Together, our frequencies attracted each other. So, with that being said, I don't need to know you, but I know I love you. You are enough, and you can do whatever it is that you set your mind out to do, truly. Until next time, thank you for letting me share. Hey guys, so we had a wonderful long day, and now I am in bed. Well, about to take it to sleep. I think I'm gonna watch a movie really quickly. But it was great hanging out with you all, and I will be posting some more soon. I'm learning more about how to do this and the lighting. As you can see, I'm playing with it, but as the channel grows, so will the skills for blogging. So you will actually get to see the progression from beginning to end, and hopefully it motivates someone. Okay, bye.